Oh, it's not. It's like part of it's not. Well, it's all in there except maybe like the very fucking top. And you're not missing much. You're not missing much. I do not know the name of the video that I clicked onto because it was like 10 minutes ago. But we're about to see. Oh yeah, Titanic sub. Titanic sub. Oh yeah, this. Watching Titanic sub. I didn't keep up with it. I thought it was kind of fucking like. I thought it was stupid of the people fucking do the fucking sub thing.
Into the Titanic submarine story, I want to ask a quick question that I know I'll find the answer to eventually. So, as I understand it, this is an extremely...
Oh, hold up. Oh, okay, there it is. And now let's get back.
Expensive adventure where you go to this company, they send you down in a submersible to explore and go through the Titanic. I think it's like $250,000 per person per seat or whatever. I think it's $250K per person. And
damn,
they've now lost contact. It is $250K, okay. And they've lost contact with the submersible now. So it's been a scramble to try and like locate it, find them, and get them out. My question is, and this is going to sound like an actual child asking it, but I'm not. This is going to be shocking. I'm not a fucking submarine scientist here. I'm not a nautical engineer. If they lost communication with the ship, why can't they just immediately surface? Like, just go straight up? Why not? Why not just be like, okay, we lost communication. We're a little lost here. We're just going to go up. What stops that?
They're fucking stupid.
Oh, okay, so there's not like an actual answer yet. We don't know. So pressure, they could just be like actually like completely malfunction down there from pressure, mechanical issues. Okay. I didn't know if there was like some kind of something that I was overlooking. Like I didn't know if it was just a communication blackout or something. Okay, that makes a lot more sense then. Like I said, I haven't looked into this like at all. So I was just wondering like, oh, we lost communication. We don't know where they are. And immediately my mind went to why not just surface? So okay, if it's so we just don't know. It could be mechanical issue, could be pressure, shit like that. Gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't fucking keep up with any of this.
There be some sizzle, epic, lang, and give some pickle. There be some pickle. Now, one other thing that I think is important that we go into this with the knowledge of is this CEO sounds like a fucking maniac. Now, I do recognize that he is reportedly on this vessel as it's missing, so there is potential that he's dead. And it sounds like that's almost entirely his fault. I read this about him earlier. So, there were already problems with this submarine, apparently. So, in 2018, there was a lawsuit about it being a potential danger to passengers. And then I also read a tweet from someone who went on it a while back and wrote an article about how cool the technology was. And then they admitted that even when they were on the submarine, they got lost for 5 hours. And he's like, oh, we got lost for 5 hours, but, you know, everything turned out okay. It's like, well, what the fuck? Why didn't you write about that? Like, we could have prevented a tragedy if more people knew how fucking dangerous this was. You were still selling it as a really cool adventure, but you got lost for 5 fucking hours? So there were all kinds of red flags here. And the CEO at some point, I don't know if it's in this article, I haven't read this one. At some point, the CEO said that the safety requirements for the submarine were obscenely strict, complaining that the safety was overbearing. Like he was complaining that things were too safe. So it sounds like he was a corner cutter in order to save a little bottom dollar. Which I thought was crazy to complain about safety regulations, saying that it was too safe. Man added fucking danger to his adventure. Safety, wait, there's no way that's a real quote. Safety is a total waste. No, I think the quote was the safety regulations are obscenely strict. Here, why don't I want to just Google it. Oh, obscenely safe. Here it is. Boss of missing Titanic submersible once called his industry obscenely safe. The daredevil inventor is understood to be on board the submersible that lost contact with the surface last week. That is the last person I would want manning my fucking Titanic deep sea adventure. The daredevil inventor. Jesus Christ. That's such a wild thing to complain about, too. The industry being obscenely safe. I can't get over that. But it is a very dire and very serious situation. There is a good chance that they're either dead right now or will be shortly. They can't find them. Last I heard, there are only about 30 hours left on oxygen as of like a couple hours ago. Oh, here we go. Rush said that there have been no injuries in the field for decades, adding, it's obscenely safe because they all have these regulations, but it also hasn't innovated or grown because they all have these regulations. What the fuck do you mean? Like, the regulations aren't an inhibition to growing the industry. They're there to protect people. Man thinks that you need to go down there with, like, some rackety piece of shit in order to really innovate. Thanks to the resub Chris, Step in the Prime, Pansy, and the resub Tease, Sound, and Josh. Before people complain about it being controlled by a Logitech controller, they almost definitely had backups, and controllers are used for a lot of scientific and military systems such as drones, submarine periscopes because of their ergonomic and intuitive design. The design sucked for many reasons, such as the under-engineered window and lack of escape hatch. That's another thing of prerequisite knowledge here. I saw this all over Twitter, so I had to look this up at least a little bit because so many people were arguing. It was controlled by I think it was a $20 Logitech gamepad, which is apparently industry norm in military equipment and other high-value vessels. That's not uncommon. So that's not a... It's a little goofy to read about, but it's apparently industry standard. Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, Ken. Hope you're doing well. No, it is a very real thing. Hold on. They use it for drones in the military, too, from what I was reading. Or some drones in the military, from what I saw. Yep, this is from 2 months ago. The U.S. military will fight the next big war with an Xbox-style video game controller. And it's just literally using Xbox controllers.
GBMCRX has your prescription for a healthier you. This month,
They legitimately use these for very high-tech shit.
Damn, that's a 360 controller. Damn. I ain't seen one of them in a minute.
But it is really wild to read about that. I had no idea till today. It's not like I had this knowledge beforehand. Why not a PS4?
Oh, let me...
Very high tech.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is a 360 controller. Because that ain't no Xbox One controller. That's 360 right there. Pretty sure because of the way the little fucking Xbox symbol is. Like, fairly certain that's a 360 controller. I couldn't tell you, it's been years since I played Xbox, but I did have a 360 for years, and I'm that right there looks like that controller.
Shit.
So we're about like 10 minutes in. Alright.
But it is really wild to read about that. I had no idea till today. It's not like I had this knowledge beforehand. Why not a PS4 controller? I don't know, brother. You're asking the wrong guy. I also wonder if third-party controllers can give you like a boost if you have like the extra little toggles on the back that used to be illegal in professional Call of Duty. Like little paddle shifters or something.
I think I know what he's talking about. I'm not 100% sure.
These are some Splashfire and Zeb. Easy to train new recruits because everyone already uses it. Interesting point. The Xbox controllers have better aim assist. Yeah, I suppose so. Alright, let's read about this. Because I'm very curious on exactly what all's going on here.
Fuck you and your better aim assist Xbox.
I imagine the BBC probably has pretty in-depth reporting on it.
I'm pretty sure the
Before
Titan is a
five-person
sub.
crew of a missing submersible vessel began to descend to the ocean floor. They first had to be locked inside by a support crew who sealed it shut with bolts. Search is now underway to locate the small deep-diving vessel, which is operated by the marine company Ocean Gate Expeditions after it lost contact while diving near the wreckage of the Titanic. Okay, so it's called the Titan Submersible.
Well, can't they go down there with like fucking sonar and shit to like find this thing? Well, I mean, like, couldn't they have when it happened? Because this is what, like... Oh, okay, 2015. I know this shit did not happen way back in 2015. This was like fucking last year or the end of 2022, from what I remember.
While Ocean Gate has operated a
8
sister
months
submersible
ago.
called the Cyclops since 2015, the Titan was expressly
2023.
built by the company to allow tourists to visit the wreck of the Titanic. According to the company, the Titan weighs 23,000 pounds and has aerospace standard 5-inch thick carbon fiber hull reinforced with 2 dome titanium end caps. All of that means nothing to me.
Well, I think carbon fiber, titanium, something is supposed to be pretty fucking strong.
While Ocean Gate has...
And, like, the pressure doesn't build up as much on the sub or some shit because of that. I'm going off fucking, like, Subnautica, playing fucking Subnautica here. I don't fucking know.
Operated a sister submersible called the Cyclops since 2015, the Titan was expressly built by the company to allow tourists to visit the wreck of the Titanic. According to the company, the Titan weighs 23,000 pounds and has aerospace standard 5-inch thick carbon fiber hull reinforced with 2 dome titanium end caps. All of that means nothing.
Okay, so it's reinforced with carbon fiber and titanium. But then, how deep can this thing go before it fucking... before the pressure gets too much and pops a hole in the bitch?
To me. You basically just got me with like a glorb hole thing there. I don't know really what any of that necessarily means, to be honest. I know what a hull is, and I know what pounds are.
I'm sure he knows what fucking titanium is, too.
Okay, so this is just going over like the general design. While it is bigger than competitors, passengers are required to sit on the floor with limited room to move around. Yeah, that's the scariest part of submarines in general. I think there's almost nowhere more miserable to be in the entire universe than in a fucking submarine. You can't go anywhere. It's very cramped. It's always dark. Well, I mean, I guess it's not dark because of like lights being on inside, but like you don't get any like actual sunlight or anything. It's just completely in a void, and it's so cramped. That's why I always feel like the nuclear sub-operators and shit in the military are actual psychopaths. Like, to endure that, you've got my deepest level of respect. Like, Jesus Christ. Those are some crazy conditions. Thanks to the Prime Lucida.
And you're in the fucking ocean. knows what the fuck's out there. Oh yeah, and another thing about the ocean thing. From what I was told by my little cousin, who watches a lot of these type of channels and shit, he got me into this type of shit right here. But I mean, I knew who fucking Moist Critical was already a little bit because of the because of like some clips here and there. And then it was like well, I think I was playing like some space game or some shit. Or like I was talking about space and like exploration and like the ocean and shit, and he's like, you know, NASA was like exploring the ocean before space, and then like they found something and then they abandoned it and decided to do space. And I'm like, well, what the fuck did they find then? It's like, I don't fucking know. Has to be something fucking huge and for them to abandon the ocean. Or they weren't finding shit. Like, I don't know the full story on anything.
The Titan has around 96 hours of oxygen reserves on board, but this will be affected by the breathing rate of the crew. Okay, that's pretty scary. So, like I said, last I checked, there was about 30 hours of oxygen left. Much of the interior, the company admits, consists of several pieces of off-the-shelf technology, which it says help to streamline the construction and makes it simple to operate and replace parts in the field. I don't know. To me, that doesn't sound like extremely nice. Like, that wouldn't build confidence for me. I'd like to hear that these parts came to... Much of the interior, the company admits, consists of several pieces of off-the-shelf technology, which it says help to streamline the construction and makes it simple to operate and replace parts in the field. I don't know. To me, that doesn't sound like extremely nice. Like, that wouldn't build confidence for me. I'd like to hear that these parts came directly from like the finest forges in Mordor or something. Like something really strong sounding as opposed to off the shelf. Okay, this is going over how it operates. This is talking about the controller. Pilot steers based on the instructions from with a modified video game controller. That's the Logitech gamepad. Mr. Rush, speaking to CBS News last year, said piloting the sub shouldn't take a lot of skill. Why? I feel like it absolutely should. There's people's lives at stake there. Like 10,000 leagues under the sea. You should have a very skilled pilot behind the controller of that puppy. Give me a goddamn esports pro or something. Don't just give me anybody.
Don't fucking try to snort a bit of that shit and not know what the fuck you're doing. Like me.
Thanks to the resub waffles, barbaric, and the prime kettle. The bits Akazino. Full dive to Titanic, including descent and ascent, takes about 8 hours. Oh, here. When CBS correspondent David Pog, I think that's who I read from earlier today, took a trip in 2018, communication broke down and was lost at sea for more than 2 hours before communications were restored. Yeah, that might have been who I read from earlier. Oh man, God, this is fucking terrifying. OceanGate says it's an experimental vessel and told CBS Travel on board correspondent he had to sign a waiver to accept it has not been approved or certified by any regulatory body and could result in physical injury, disability, emotional trauma, or death. I understand waivers are pretty standard, but the regulatory body thing is actually surprising to me that anyone can build, or any company rather, can build a sub and just take people under the sea without any level of like safety inspection. That's a little surprising.
It's fucked up.
Oh, yikes. Okay. The company explained why the Titan had not been classed by an independent body, bringing an outside entity up to speed on every innovation before it is put into real-world testing is an anathema to rapid innovation. This guy fucking hates inspectors and safety. Why? Like, oh my god. Yeah, we don't get it inspected or approved by any kind of, knowledgeable people. I said it's good enough, so that's probably enough. Why do you keep saying check CNN? Why did something just happen? I'm still learning about what's going on here. Oh, from 9 minutes ago.
I fucking hated CNN. Because it's all my one aunt would fucking watch. When Trump was fucking president, all I'd hear is Trump this, Trump that. Fuck.
Crew searching for the Titan submersible heard banging sounds every 30 minutes, and for 4 hours later, after additional sonar devices were deployed, banging was still heard according to an internal U.S. government memo. It was unclear what the A Canadian P-3 aircraft also located a white rectangular object in the water. According to that update, another ship set to investigate was diverted to help research the acoustic feedback instead. Well, that sounds like good news, right? No, it's not good news? I mean, it sounds like they're alive. Like, I don't think that banging is Davy Jones or anything. Like, I mean, that it sounds like they're probably still alive. There's gonna be some iron bangs, Bowen, and they give some frog. Yeah, but if they're freaking out, they're gonna be using a lot more oxygen. These are, from what I understand, these are like just rich people, not fucking hardened super soldiers. Of course they're gonna be freaking out in the face of death on a submarine at the bottom of the fucking ocean. So I think they're already working under the assumption that they're consuming more oxygen than normal.
He does have a point, they're rich, so they are going to be complaining about fucking... What about that?
Yeah, it looks like a lot of people kind of saw the writing on the wall that this wasn't extremely safe, I guess.
In my opinion on this, it was fucking stupid to even get on the sub in the first fucking place.
Oh wait, this is all they have on the story? What? That's just a general overview. Like, what happened? I understand they lost communication, but aren't they also tethered to the ship? Or is that not something they actually do? I just want like a full write-up start to finish here.
If they were tethered, they wouldn't be missing.
Apparently not. Really? They're not tethered to the ship? Interesting. No, it's just too deep for that. Yeah, like I said, I'm not like a fucking nautical engineer, but I feel like aren't most of these things like tethered to the ships? Like I know when you do what's that deep sea tour? Another rich people thing. I can't remember the name of it. But they have like a giant rope that tethers it to that ship. But I guess maybe it doesn't go as deep. Thanks to research Schmickelus and Boo.
What are these stupid things are fucking rich people things?
It's just not possible at 13,000 feet. Okay, fair enough.
Damn.
How OceanGate built improvised submersible from camping kit and video game controller. Again, the video game controller is kind of industry standard, but what do they mean built from a camping kit?
Yeah, I want to know now. Click on it.
Jesus Christ.
You're gonna click on it? Fuck.
I'm going to page 2 on Google. We're taking a chance. Just give me like a full play-by-play here.
I can't find the shit on page 1. It's like, alright, I'm done.
Holy shit. Here's the Prime Aerox. CBS posted a good video on this from David Pogg titled A Visit to the RMS Titanic. Okay, let me see. You said it's a total shit show? Oh, this is from 6 months ago. This isn't even that long ago.
Dear open minds and ambitious spirits, this is an open invitation to get lost, to wander.
It has about as much room as a minivan.
So this is not your grandfather's submersible. We only have one button, that's it. It should be like an elevator. You know, it shouldn't take a lot of skill.
The Titan.
What the fuck? Those pictures don't do it justice. Oh my god, this looks miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. And just a single button on board like an elevator. That does not inspire confidence. I want this shit to look like the Starship Enterprise with 1,000 different ways of controlling it.
I don't know what the fuck the button does.
$250,000 in your crisscross applesauce in like a car trunk.
Shit. My legs be sore after 5 minutes doing that shit.
Yeah, there's like a small, like bathroom area. I read it in the article. So there is like a small place to relieve yourself, but he recommends that you change your diet to reduce the chance of that if you needing to use it.
Yeah, fuck that.
USA Today has the best article on it. Titanic tourist submarine missing. Okay, thanks. Okay, perfect. I'll go through that in a minute. I want to see more of this now.
The Titan is the only 5-person sub in the world that can reach Titanic depths, 2.4 miles below the sea. It's also the only one with a toilet.
There it is.
Sort of. And yet, I couldn't help noticing how many pieces of this sub seemed improvised.
Are you fucking kidding me? Look at that. What?
Yup, they're dead.
What? How? I can't believe anyone would go on this. $250,000. I show up and I see this. I'm just leaving. And I'm asking for my money back ASAP. Holy shit. Actual just tape and Sharpie here.
We can use these off-the-shelf components. I got these from Camper World. We
Oh my
run
god.
with this game controller.
Come on! Oh, you even got nipples on it.
The fuck
What does this even really help with? Why would you even bother putting the nipples on it?
It seems like this submersible has some elements of MacGyver-y jerry-rigness. I mean, you're putting construction pipes as ballast.
I don't know if I'd use that description of it, but there's certain things that you want to be buttoned down. So the pressure
Thanks,
vessel
Mr.
is
Danny
not MacGyver at
Inchino.
all, because that's where we work with Boeing and NASA and the University of Washington. Everything else can fail. Your thrusters can go, your lights can go, you're still going to be safe.
But when Expedition Manager
Not when the lights
studied
fucking
the
go,
forecast
then
for
you're
our
fucking
Titanic
panicking and
dive,
shit.
he concluded that the waves would be too big. to
Fucking
launch
power
the
goes
sub.
out here, I'm fucking panicking.
So at least they have some kind of knowledgeable
Divers
expert here.
detach the sub from the platform,
Fucking 20 years
and
old
away
and I'm
you
gonna
go,
fucking panic.
in theory.
Hull integrity, hold it.
And what happened next? You won't be disappointed, as we'll show you a little later on Sunday morning.
Even though I know that nobody can get to the breaker box to turn it off without already being in the house. And then like if it's fucking thundering and shit and the fucking power goes out, oh yeah, I'm gonna be fucking scared, fucking loud ass thunder. Give a fuck how old I am. It's fucking, like, different.
Where things have to be.
I feel like that window at that depth is just an absolute recipe for disaster.
Archaeologist Rob Mather joined.
Again, I'm not an expert. Let me see it here at the bottom.
How it just kind of emerges out.
Is the window reinforced? Damn. Wait a minute.
It's just an absolute.
Okay, his shit cuts off. Yeah, his shit cuts off. Pretty sure. Yeah, his fucking volume cuts off. Had to make sure it wasn't mine.
Wow, that thing is. That thing is like fucking pathetic to look at. I'll just say it. Like, oh my god. Actually, tape and Sharpie, Camping World supplies. Oh my god. Thanks to Prime Florida.
Duct tape can fix
That's
anything.
Polar and Colt and Rick. Oh, sweet. Well, thank you, Rick. The porthole window is rated for 1,300 meters, and they dove to 4,000 meters. Well, you know, simple miscalculation. Thanks for resub, Mel.
You probably lost communication because the soul went way too far down, and now is all pressurized and destroyed, and everyone's
USA
dead.
Today article for like the full scope here. Someone said this is like a really good, all-encompassing explanation for what's happened.
But yeah,
so
I don't know
2
what
days
really
ago, I knew that.
happened.
They've been
or
trying
if
to
they
locate it
were
ever since. I
found
think they set up a
or
900-mile
anything.
perimeter or something like that. I think I read. Yeah, here. Oh no, 900 miles east of Cape Cod. Oh. It's very different. I was like, 900 mile perimeter is pretty solid. You can cover a lot of ground with that. Okay. Sunday night, it lost contact with a support ship. About an hour and 45 after submerging. Jesus, so like almost instantly. Because it's like an 8-hour journey. So that happening at an hour 45 is pretty much right off rip. It went tits up immediately. Jim Bellingham, a Johns Hopkins University expert on deep sea operations, told USA Today there's 3 possible locations for the submersible. One possibility is that it could be floating on the ocean's surface after an electrical failure or some other mishap. Another is that it's drifting in the water column anywhere between the surface and the bottom because it became buoyantly neutral. Or it could be on the sea floor, perhaps tangled with something that won't let it float to the top. The first one is by far the best position, Bellingham said, because even though it would be difficult to spot the 21-foot-long Titan amidst the waves, the Coast Guard is just awesome at this. They have amazing capability to see something pretty small in the ocean. Yeah, I think he's probably right on the money. The best case scenario is that they are floating somewhere out in the surface. Anything else is a little rough.
But still possible. At the time.
God, that's so fucking terrifying. Because if it is actually on the seabed, like, how are they supposed to save it? Like, how are you supposed to rescue them? Like, let's say, so the update from CNN 9 minutes ago was that they heard banging, which I think sounds like good news. It leads me to believe that they might still be alive. So they were hearing, like, banging on the equipment. How are you supposed to save them if they're on the seafloor? 13, like, are you supposed to send another Titan vessel down there? Like, you're gonna, like, put one together with more Camping World equipment? Like, how are you supposed to save them? So even if you do locate them, you can do nothing to really help. That's fucking terrifying. A magnet like Breaking Bad. Oh my god, sign this man up to NASA. What if you get a huge magnet and you just start putting it over the ocean and see if it starts bringing them to the top?
We'll probably bring the Titanic first.
This man's thinking the galaxy brain.
Finally got the Titanic out the ocean.
Toast, Zaho, Random, Mel, HTTP, Draco, Excalibur, Baba Booey, Bread, and the Bits George, Bruh, and Akazino. You just have to go to like an actual registered place for it, Akazino. It's not anything like super deep. True, bro. Man, that's crazy. You haven't seen nothing. Look up Project Azorian to see how they could do this, how they could rescue it. Project Azorian? Sounds like something out of a comic book. Project Azorian was a U.S. Central Intelligence Agency project to recover a Soviet submarine, a K-129, from the Pacific Ocean floor using a purpose-built Hughes Glomar Explorer. This just sounds fucking awesome. What? Also called Jennifer by the press. Oh, okay. I think Project Azorian sounds cooler.
Yeah.
Costs about $4.7 billion.
Damn.
Oh my god, this is so intricate. They even worked with scientists to develop methods for preserving the paper that had been underwater for years in hopes of being able to recover and read the submarine's code books. Wow. Holy shit. The ship recovered a portion of the K-129, but a mechanical failure in the grapple caused 2/3 of the recovered section to break off during recovery. So it basically worked up until it didn't. Very interesting. So this was fundamentally like a giant crane that would be precisely lowered and lifting it up. And it went down, wow, 1,600 miles. So realistically, if we still had the Hughes Glomar Explorer here with this equipment, they could just call that bitch up right now and actually stand a chance if they could locate them. Because they're, what was it, 2,000 miles down? I forgot already.
I thought it was like 2 miles.
Oh, wait. Oh, my God. I keep doing this to myself. This is not how deep they were. This is approximately 1,600 miles northwest of Hawaii. That is the second time I've done that. That is the second fucking time I've done that.
I don't know if you can read any of that shit on there besides the Project Azorian, but
I don't know why I keep doing that to myself.
from where I'm sitting, I can't see shit except Project Azorian and Wikipedia. But yeah, don't believe everything on Wikipedia.
Yes, they're the length of the Earth's core deep. Yeah. Or length of the Earth deep. Yeah. Who's Prime John? They'd be like actually in hell. 1,600 miles deep. I was thinking feet, but for some reason my brain was registering miles, and this was just still how far away it was from the position. I work on submarines, they're fucked. They're scary, man. They are so scary. I've said that for actual years. I just said that a minute ago, and I'll say it again. I think the most miserable place you could ever imagine in reality is a submarine. Worse than being on, like, the International Space Station, fucking stranded in space. A submarine has to be the worst place. This is a really cool thing. I've never heard of this. These are the bits Jack and Kev. That's what I've heard, Kev. And these are the resub Shinobi, Think, and Stick, and Blaze. Yeah, we talked about that the other day, Jack, when it happened.
If I want to visit the Titanic, I'll watch a video of someone going down there and visiting.
James Cameron about to come out of retirement to rescue him. I mean, legitimately, do they have that? James Cameron has what, the second deepest manned mission in the sea, I think. The Deep Sea
fast as
Challenger.
fuck.
I believe it's still the second deepest. There's the Prime Nefarious, Durbin, and the resub Lug, and the bits Akazino. Yeah, well, I know that one very well, Akazino. That one's very popular. Resub Minx. I thought he went the deepest. I thought he was second deepest. Oh, you know what it might have been? I think you're right. I think he was the deepest manned mission, but they went deeper with like a drone or something. We watched a video on it a long time ago. No, I don't think there's like sea monsters or anything in the ocean, but there is a very real thing that I see people bring up occasionally, and it always blows my mind, that we know more about space than we do about like the deepest parts of our ocean.
Yeah.
Because space is more accessible to us than like the deepest parts of the ocean, which I find crazy. No, we don't. No, that's like actually true. Let me see. Like we can, here, how about this? We can know more about space than the deepest parts of our oceans right now. This gets brought up occasionally, and every time it does, I still find it baffling. Because the pressure just makes it really hard to actually analyze things there, whereas in space with telescopes and shit, we can just look out freely. It's not like there's pressure that stops it. Here's a whole article about it from, well, this doesn't sound like a good reputable source, but it's Science How Stuff Works. But yeah, we've explored more of space than the ocean, according to this from Environment CO. And it's talked about a lot, so I'm assuming they're correct. Easy resub Shadow. That wouldn't even make sense. Why? I think it makes perfect sense. Again, we can look out into space without anything stopping us. We can't really look to the deepest parts of the ocean because we can't send anything to the deepest parts of the ocean because of the pressure. It's very, very difficult. It's a prime moonlight. So I think it makes sense. Space is infinite. Well, it's not like we've mastered space. Jesus Christ. The point is, we are more accessible to space knowledge than our deep ocean knowledge. Thus, we are more capable of learning about space right now than our own oceans. What do you mean? Like I think it makes perfect sense.
Pretty sure it's also proven.
Who's the resub? Justin and Thorn. That one I don't know about because you know that one's new. Find the Santa Maria. I don't understand the reference. What have we never found the Santa Maria? Is that like a meme or something?
I feel like I've heard of that.
Do they just not? We don't know where that one is. I don't get it. Is it tier 1 alcoholic and the resub moon? The tier 1 worst. No, the Santa Maria is actually just too far down. First I've heard of that. Have you seen the amoebas of the Marianas Trench? No, but there's some fucking wacky little sea creatures when you get to the very, very deep parts of the ocean. Here, actually, hold on. Let me look up something real quick. I brought this up on stream a long time ago. Shit gets crazy down there. And here, this one, chat's on some stupid juice right now when it comes to like space versus ocean and which is easier to explore. According to oceanliteracyunesco.org, we have explored approximately only 5% of the ocean. It is extremely hard to gather all of the information about our ocean.
Thought it wasn't even 5%.
This is from 2022. This isn't like an old thing from the 60s either. How much of space, though? Oh, probably infinitely less of space, since space is so much bigger. But we can keep looking at space. The ocean is just very difficult. That's the only point I was making, is that it's easier, thus we have put more resources into it and have learned more about it than we have the deepest parts of our oceans. That's it. Thanks for 10 gift subs, Catman. Appreciate that. And the resub Ryan and the gift sub Player. And the 5 gift subs of Rogue. Thank you for that. And the Prime Juan.
I know, we're gonna finish this before I start fucking talking.
I know, it's wild, man. The ocean's the craziest place. Imagine Pacific Rim is real. That'd be so cool.
The guy.
So, yeah, I'm about to start the next video. But, I'm ending this one first. And whatever I was saying about saying something after I got done recording. Yeah, I lost whatever I was gonna say. I should have said it then and there. But yeah, we're getting into the next video pretty soon.